What's up guys, it's JGMan179, back again with another review from Day Late Game Reviews. This week we're taking a look at the newest entry in the Batman Arkham series, Batman Arkham Origins. Previous developers Rocksteady are nowhere to be found, and this game was developed instead by Warner Bros. Games Montreal. Don't worry though, all the trademarks of the Arkham games are making the jump to this game, including the combat system and visual style. Arkham Origins is a prequel to the Arkham Asylum and Arkham City games and follows Batman during his second year of vigilantism. The game focuses on the relationships that are forming between Batman and these supervillains. The story starts on Christmas Eve, and the supercriminal Black Mask has put a bounty on Batman's head, causing the best assassins to migrate to Gotham City to take a shot at the money. With no allies yet and a totally corrupt police force, Batman must battle all these assassins on his own in order to survive the night. Alright, let's jump right into the good. The combat and gameplay doesn't change at all from the previous entries, meaning players can still mow through common criminals in classic Arkham style. New enemies shake things up a little bit, with new ninja enemies who are able to counter Batman's attacks. This adds a small new layer to an already perfected combat system. The other mechanics stay the same as well, with the same old gadgets and a few new additions. Adding to the old cast of cool gadgets is the brand new Remote Claw, which can tether two things together, like an enemy and an explosive barrel. Visuals are done in classic Arkham style with little to no improvement on the graphics of the already stunning visuals found in Arkham City. Everything looks dark and gritty, and the cutscenes now take on a much more cinematic quality. The open world feels totally new and different as well, even though half of the map is the same as Arkham City, called Old Gotham, and it is not yet flooded, run down, or surrounded by super high prison walls. The other half of the map, called New Gotham, is brand new, with much taller buildings and a whole new area to explore. The detective mode has been beefed up with multiple scenarios that require you to scan crime scenes, watch the playback of the crime for clues, and search other areas in order to find all the secrets about this crime. This offers a fun and different distraction from the main game. The best parts of the game are still intact, and the challenge maps offer some of the most fun in the game. With combat and predator missions to help you perfect your fighting skills, there is definitely a lot in this game, even if some of it may be lackluster. That being said, now we've got to look at the bad. Unfortunately, the huge shadow cast by both Arkham Asylum and Arkham City is hard to get out of, and Arkham Origins just isn't interesting enough to do so. The story doesn't have the charisma of the previous entries, and a lot of the things that drew us into the world of Arkham are absent. Even though Riddler returns as a welcome challenge, the world does not have enough in it to make us want to explore it like we did in Arkham City. You don't interact with as many memorable villains as before, and the few you do just don't seem as cool as they are in the other games. Only a few of the voice actors from the previous games make the jump to this game, with the actor who played Robin in Arkham City now having to voice the Joker, and the voice of Ezio from Assassin's Creed taking on the role of Batman. These actors are great, but they just can't seem to match the charisma of the previous characters. The entire game shifts its focus away from the narrative. A constant barrage of points and XP show up on the left side of the screen for every encounter that occurs. This makes you focus more on the combat than the world and story, which may be to try to hide the flaws in the narrative. Online multiplayer is entirely skippable and only serves as a small distraction. It's uninteresting and just plain lame, and it's definitely the weakest of the three game modes. Alright, time to take a look at the achievements. Batman Arkham Origins splits its achievements between three major game modes, which include the main story, challenge maps, and the online multiplayer. None are very interesting, with only a few campaign achievements that don't pertain to completing missions or leveling up. However, these achievements are missable, and if you miss them, you'll have to replay through the entire game. 3 of these include talking to Alfred as much as you can, and defeating 2 of the bosses without missing a counter or getting hit. The challenge map achievements are much the same as the last games, where if you get all the medals on all types of challenge maps, then you can get all those achievements. The online multiplayer achievements are simply atrocious. Most require full game lobbies and are incredibly specific, which is hard to accomplish when everyone is controlled by a real player, and not as many people will be playing multiplayer in a few months. Achievements like Clutch are the perfect example of achievements that should never be included in a game. This achievement requires you to, and I quote, kill a hero to bring your entire team in when there are 0 reinforcements left while in a full matchmaking lobby. Seriously? How much more ridiculous can you get? Expect to take a lot of time and work if you want to get your perfect 1000 gamer score or platinum trophy in this game. So it's time for the decision. For my reviews, I've changed up the rating formula a bit in order to make it more specific. These reviews use a tiered system consisting of 5 different tiers, starting with Tier 1, which are the worst of the worst, broken and unplayable games, all the way up to Tier 5, which are the best of the best and are truly a game to remember. The 3 tiers in between distinguish different levels of playability. For Batman Arkham Origins, I'm gonna have to put this game down in Tier 3. The game is fun, but there are a lot that holds this game back. The combat and gameplay are what saved this game, and the challenge maps are as fun as ever. However, the world and story just aren't as interesting as the other games. There's no real reason to explore the world, and the story only seems to be in place to explain why Batman would fight so many villains in a single night. Online multiplayer is the weakest link, and I can't help but think that the inclusion of multiplayer is the reason why campaign is so lackluster. With no sense of purpose and no real progression system, multiplayer can be skipped. Overall, the combat, gameplay, and visuals are all up to par as the last games, but none of that matters when the game just isn't interesting. That said, any reason to get back into the Arkham world is definitely a welcome one. Well guys, that's it. If you want to know more about my rating system, check back here for a video about that soon. The start of the release season is upon us, so make sure you stick around to find more reviews here in the upcoming days. Peace out, everyone.